Hi everybody, I am MD Mukaddas. We are into the DevOps course. This is the agenda we are talk about in this video. What is DevOps? DevOps phases, DevOps use cases, DevOps hands-on. What is DevOps? DevOps is a set of practices and tool that aims to bridge the gap between software development and operational team to improve the speed, quality and reliability of a software delivery. DevOps emphasizes collaboration, automation, and continuous feedback and improve throughout the software development lifecycle. DevOps is not a framework. DevOps is not a tool. It is just a methodology that bridges the gap between software development and operation team. And DevOps is a culture that emphasizes communication, collaboration, and teamwork between deployment and operation team. And in the market, we have a multiple DevOps tools. For the configuration management tool, we have a Ansible, Puppet, Chef. Ansible is one of them included in our course. Ansible is a great powerful configuration management tool. One of the DevOps tool is Docker. Docker included in our course. Docker is a containerization platform that simplifies the process of creating, deploying, and managing application in containers. Containers are lightweight, portable, and isolated environment that run application and their dependencies consistently across different environment. And like we have a Kubernetes that are also included in our course. Kubernetes is a container management tool. Git also included in our DevOps course. Git is a version control system, and we have a Jenkins for the complete continuous integration and continuous deployment. We'll see ahead what the actually mean of CI/CD, but Jenkins also included in our course. All the developer keep on committing their code, and then Jenkins is there to prepare a build for the code that is commit by the developer, and then we test our application. If something goes wrong, then again developer change the code, and then Jenkins again prepare a build, and then it again test, and finally it deploy or delivery, whatever. So this is the workflow in DevOps phases follow mostly. Two term is continuous integration and continuous delivery or deployment. Let's look into the continuous integration. You can see the developer. At the developer section, all the developer keep on committing their code on the SCM, and then we have a multiple CI tool. One of the tool is Jenkins that prepare a build, and if something problem detected, then automatically it call the developer, and then it again changed, and if everything is okay, then all the thing is fine, and our application will be ready to deploy or delivery. In the continuous integration, we have a development, then we have a build and testing, and we have a integration testing and continuous delivery. In the company, we normally use CI/CD. CI means continuous integration, CD means continuous delivery, because in the deployment we have to check lots of things. We do deployment after verifying multiple things, and we do manually. So in the CI/CD, this is a good practice to only do continuous integration and continuous delivery that is used by across all the company. In the CI/CD, continuous integration and continuous delivery, our application will go up to acceptance test. In the continuous deployment, that is not a good practice. That time we directly after the acceptance test, we directly produce our application in the production system. In our training, we are going to learn Git and GitHub, that is a version control system and source code management tool. And we have a automation with Ansible, that is a configuration management tool. We have a Docker certified associate for the containerization tool. We have a certified Kubernetes administration tool for the Kubernetes, that is a container management tool, and we have a complete CI/CD with Jenkins code. So let's jump into the hands-on of the Git and GitHub. Git is a version control system, and it is essential for the DevOps. Git, Git tracking all the changes of the code. Let's see how it's doing. So to initialize any repository so that Git can track whatever we changed in the code or in the file. It track so that whenever in the future if you want to roll back you can easily. So to initialize your git we have a command git in it. See, it successfully initialized. One command in git which is very often we use, that is git status. When we run you can see here nothing to commit, means everything is fine till now. Let's say we create one file known as a.py. Let's write my code something. Hello world. And let me save. See, there is one file created a.py. Now if we run git status, you can see here one file to add. What is add? So in the git we have some area that is known as staging area, commit area, development area. We'll discuss. But currently to store any file in the staging area, we have a command git add and we have a file name. So by using this command, everything will be adding in the staging area. Now we run this command. Now you can see changes to be committed because we have to also store in the commit area. So to store in the commit area, we have a command and we can pass message by using -m option, like added a.py file. Now it's successfully committed. Now if we run git status, you will see everything is fine. So now let's say this is our file. If we make any changes in this file, Git will automatically find where the code changed. Let me open again. Now let me write another line of code. Okay, let me see. Now if I run, see, it automatically detected something is modified, so you have to also store in the staging area. Let me again store. Now if we run again, it modified. Let me again commit so that I can show you next updated new feature. Yes, everything is fine, but one thing you can see here, we have a command in git. You can see first time we committed with this message, added this file. Second time we write down updated new feature. Let's say how git can able to find whatever changes I did in this commit and in this. So we have a command in the git diff and we can pass our commit id. You can see there is something we will discuss in the training, but you can see plus sign means in this commit I added this line of code which is in green, right? So git everything track whatever we do in the repository, or this is also known as a file. In the git we have multiple commands. By using this command we can see all the details, who is the author of this repository and the date when he committed, what is the commit message here. We can also get the log in one line by passing this option. We have also a command like git grep. We can find anything like in the first line of our code, like that contain hello. You can see in this file a.py we have a hello world. Let's say we have another file like b.py print hello imb. and again find something. Then we have to commit. Now we have good to go. Now let me find hello. Now you can see in both the file which is containing hello, it's up here, so we can find anything. One more powerful feature of the Git is Git branch. Currently we are in the master branch. What branch does? Branch create a different line of development. Means at the same time we can create different branches for the different team, because in the real world we have a lots of team. Every team has one work, right? We can create the branch by using command. You can see our dev branch created. How we can switch to dev branch? To switch we have a command. We switch to branch dev. How we can verify? Same thing, just run this command. You will see the symbol and the green color. Now one thing you can see, if we do git status, everything is fine and the same repository here. Let me add one more feature from the dev branch. For example, let me create new.py. New file created. Now see, new file come. Let me add to the staging area. Let me commit. Add it. Feature. It's added. Everything is fine. But one thing I want to say, this is a dev branch, and if I see the message, our master branch head to here and our dev branch pointing here. What the mean of is? Let me first switch to master and see. In the master there are only 3 features we added, but in the development one more feature added. How we can merge the feature which is created by developer to the main branch, that is master. So this term known as merge. Just write git merge dev. As you write this command, you will see here new.py and 1 plus, and the methodology used fast forward here. Now if I see, now you can see new feature added by the developer merged to the master. And if I see the status, now everything is the fine. Let's jump into the hands of the Ansible. Ansible is a configuration management tool. It is so powerful. Without installing any agent in any operating system or the controller node, we can just by using SSH configure everything. How? Let's see. Let's say in my case, in this operating system, I want to configure a Apache HTTPD web server. How we can do using Ansible, right? So to do so, there is 2 common file in the Ansible. First is inventory. Let me create, and the other one is this configuration file. Inventory is responsible to manage all the IP addresses and passwords of the controller node, and in Ansible configuration file we mention all other stuff what we need for the inventory target node. First, let me open this configuration file. One syntax is default. What are the defaults values you can mention? For example, we have to set the default value where your inventory located. In my case, in the same directory, we can write inventory, save it. In my case, I'm going to just configure the HTTPD server in my local system, so no need to write inventory. Directly jump onto the Ansible playbook. The extension would be YML file because all the thing will be clear in the YML file. The first thing we have to mention hosts. In which host you want to do. We'll learn a lot about this, but today I am going to just configure on the local host, right? Local host, and what are the tasks you have to run. For example, I want to install the yes Ansible use lots of module to do particular thing. So the installation any software, the responsible module is package, and in this package we have to give the name. Like in my case, package name is httpd, and we have to mention state. State means you have to install or you have to delete all the package management stuff done by package module. So I want to install, so we have to write present here. Now next I want to configure the httpd server. Let me give the name. For the configuration, what we have to do, we have to copy all the HTML or any software related stuff to the directory. So let me just use a copy module and let me just share some basic content. Hello world, and our destination folder for the HTTPD is this one. Now we have to start our server. To start our server, we have one module in the Ansible. The module name known as service. In this we have to give the name and we have to give state, means started. You have to start the service. Now just save and run it. Ansible playbook. This is a command to run any playbook. In my case, this is a playbook. Let's write. You see, first it doing here. Now it installing the HTTPD server. It configured and started the server. How we can connect? So this is the local host. So we can curl basically local host, and by default you can see the output. Hello world, I am Ansible. You can see one more verification stuff like see htpod running by the HTTPD server. Let's jump into the Docker certified associate. Docker is a containerization platform. It will help to containerize the application. We will see the demo today how we can do. First, let me show the some basic command of the Docker. For example, Docker info. All the information of Docker is here. You can see like the server, how many containers they are running, stored, how many images in the Docker we have, the version and all the required things, architecture, CPU, memory. So how to launch a container? To launch any container, we need a Docker image. So how we can download Docker image? To download any Docker image, we have a command in Docker pull, and we have to give the image name. One of the very famous Docker image is Ubuntu. It successfully downloaded the image. Now how we can verify it downloaded or not? So we have a command in docker image. Here you can see Ubuntu installed. Now to run any container we have a option docker run, and we have to pass the option it means interactive terminal. After running the container, it will give you a bash or the command prompt of the container so that you can interact and whatever you want to do you can do. And we can specify name like my container and the image name. You can see this is different altogether prompt it given. We can exit from here. If I exit, then this is my base OS and command prompt. Now when I exited, my Docker container automatically stopped. How we can verify? This is the command that will give all the container that are in running stand. One more option we have in this hyphen name is all the container which is running or stop. See, my container 44 seconds ago stopped. Why? Because I exited. This is the reason behind it. How we can start the container? So first just run this command and you can able to see the container name or container ID. To start any container, this is a start option and you can give either name or container ID. In my case, I am going to give the name. It successfully started. How we can verify? That's it. This is the command that will show all the running container. So you can see the comment up 4 seconds ago and it created about a minute ago. Now how we can again attach a prompt to do my base OS, because this is my base OS, this is not a container OS. So to attach we have a one option attach and we can give our container name. Now you can see this is different command prompt. Let me do something in this. This is a full-fledged Ubuntu container. So in the Ubuntu, let me install something, but before installing, let me run apd update command. You can see this, the base OS is my real OS. In this, there is no apt command, but you can see in the container, we can run Ubuntu package manager tool by using container. Let me install the Apache server. Let me pass the option. It's successfully installed. Let me configure the server so that I can connect to my application. So the root directory of the Apache 2 is where www.html. Here we have to write. We write hi and let me write in index.html. And the content of index.html is hi, I am from container. Now let me start the Apache server. etc. Yes, and we have to pass the option start. You can see it's successfully started on this IP because this is the IP of container. How we can verify? So this is the IP of this container. Let me tell you. This is my container. In this container we have a command docker inspect and we have to give the name or ID of the container. You can see this option IP address, and this is the IP of our container. Let me do one thing. Let me ping first. See it pinging. Let me curl, and like we we downloaded the Ubuntu image. How we can create my own custom image? To create our own custom image, we downloaded our Docker image. In our case, that is Ubuntu. So the point is how we can create our own custom image. For example, in my case, I have this container. Let me again attach. Oh, sorry. Let me attach. Yes. So we have a one command that we have to write to start our container. So let me copy, so that whenever our container start, it automatically, let me first install Vim. Now Vim is installed. So what I am doing, that I am making this command permanent, so that whenever our container started, it automatically start the application. Why I am doing, I will tell. In this file, we have to, yes, in this file we can write this command. Why this file? Because whenever container start, this file automatically run. So when this file run, it automatically run our this command. So let me show you again. Let me exit. Now let me curl with this IP. Now it's not able to pingable because it is not started. As I will start, you will see the magic. As it will start, you will see the program will also started because I wrote the command in the bash rc file. See, as I started, it automatically run our program. We can also see how. So we can find the log of any container by using this option. You can see the log, this one. As container started, it automatically run. Now the point is, let me first stop our container. How we can create our own custom image? To create one custom image, we have a two options in the Docker. The first one is Docker commit command, and the second one is Docker file. I will show you Docker commit. How? In our case, I already run this container, my container, and I configured as a web server to this container. So to creating a Docker image will be so easy. Just write Docker commit and give the container name or the container ID and the image name like my web server, and give clone and give the version. Like in my case, this is version 1. As I hit enter, it will create a Docker image. See, it given some Docker ID. How to verify? Run this command and see my web server with this one, and this is the image ID. You can verify here. This is the email ID I created. Now it's just so interesting to run a container with our own custom Docker image. How? Docker run -d it, and we have to give a image name. In my case, our image name is my web server even. See, it's successfully running. Let me check the IP of this container, and this is the ID. Let me do with ID, and the IP address is same. Now let's connect. See, it's successfully connected. In this case, I used the image that is web server. Let's jump into the Kubernetes hands-on. Kubernetes is container management tool. To manage the Kubernetes, we have a command line tool that is kubectl. We can check the version of the kubectl by using this command, and we can check the basic detail of the Kubernetes by using kubectl. Let's say the information of our cluster. In the Kubernetes, we have a one command. This will give your where your application running and what are the cluster information. Let's create the basic application in the Kubernetes. kubectl run, and we have to give the name like my application, and now you have to give the image name. In my case, I have an image called test server. You can see my application created. How to check application created or running or not? So we have a command kubectl get pod. This is normally known as pod. In this case you can see one of one desired state and one is ready, and this is running from 10 seconds. We can see the detail of this by using this command. Everything about the container we can find out here. The node, where it's running, the IP of the container, and what are the images it using here. And we can see the events like it's successfully assigned to a started the container application. Now, in the Kubernetes, we have to expose our application to connect. To expose, we have a command. We have to give the application name and we have to assign some option. Our service successfully exposed. How to get? This is the my application name. This is the port we can connect. On this IP address, we can successfully connect it to the our application. We can get the deployment. And now let me first describe. This is the our configuration of the deployment, and the thing I want to say, currently we have a one port running. Let me first expose our application. This is my application and this is the port we can connect. Our load suddenly increase in the application, so we can scale by just using this command scale. I want to scale from 1 port to 5. You can see it scaled, and the interesting thing here, see, our 5 port automatically started as load increases. Let's say currently 3 pod in running state and 2 in container creating stage. Let me again see, everything is running. Let we have a requirement done and we have to scale down. Same command we can use. Only you have to pass the minimum number. So I want to just 2 replica of our application. Yes, this is known as a scale down. See, all the 3 pod deleted on the fly. Let's jump into the Jenkins hands-on. This is the Jenkins dashboard, and I am going to create a complete CI/CD pipeline with the help of our demo application node. So this is a new item, and let's say my application. This is the name of our pipeline. Select pipeline and click OK. This is our dashboard. Don't do anything because we are going to create full-fledged pipeline. Just click pipelines from SCM. In the SCM, click Git. In this repository, I have a demo application on this repository. Copy and paste the link here, and the branch is master, in my case master, and let's save it. Now build and see the demonstration of the complete CI/CD pipeline with the Jenkins. Pod. Hi, welcome to our application. This